Ooh, ooh, ooh. Good morning. Happy hump day. Y'all know the vibe. Early morning chat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Piping hot cloth on your face. Ooh. I used to do this every single day. And it feels so good. I did it yesterday. And I was like, let me just keep that going every single day. A piping hot cloth on your face. Let the steam do what it does. It feels so good. That added moisture in your skin. Ooh wee. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you slept well. How are you guys doing? Y'all, sometimes it's a little this and a little that. Sometimes I have some purposeful conversation in mind on an early morning chat. This morning is just like that. Um, I got a little conversation in mind and whatnot. Y'all know y'all gonna hear background noise because I am getting myself dressed for my day. I'm at a point where I have different physical therapy appointments 5 days a week at this point because of how much I'm doing. And I'm getting ready to add more physical therapy, so that's coming. Let me tell y'all before I get into my commentary, which is going to be about whatever was being discussed yesterday on my live and other lives. Let me talk about physical therapy for a minute. So, the new clinic, if you listen to my physical therapy chronicles, the other clinic is garbage. They unprofessional, dirty, bad, and in every way imaginable. Just bad. Just didn't like them. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend. Reviews online. There are literally reviews online that specifically describe, like not specific, but detailed description. They are detailed descriptions of my experience of them, except I didn't write them. And some of them go back a few years of people saying the same things. And what they did was then they'll come and they'll write a review that directly counters whatever was written. Oh, I worked with so and so, she's great. And like one guy, for example, he said, you work with whichever physical therapist is there and you don't really work with them. It's not just one continuing your care, it's different ones, and they keep asking the same questions. And he said, and they don't really work with you, they just kind of know that you know the exercises and you kind of do your own thing. Y'all, excuse the echo. I'm in the bathroom. Y'all know how I do sometimes when I hit the live button fresh out the shower. So he said, and I gotta remember to leave that door open because lately when I be on live, we leave closing the door, leaving a steam in here. Reminding myself as I say. But anyway, he said, and then you just do your exercises yourself. There's no one working with you. And so I'll tell you, since I've been at the new place, oh damn, I forgot I had to turn that off. I'll be right back. Put this like this. Wash that. Since I've been at the new place, literally a physical therapist works with you. Like if they give you something to do and they walk away, you can tell that they're monitoring you, but they're not like weirdly watching you, if that makes sense. The other place, they just quietly, weirdly watching you as you take yourself through the exercises that they initially showed you. And they're not really saying anything except for when they ask you the same question that they've asked, Lord knows how many times. Just keep asking the same questions The same thing. Steady trying to get you to do stuff. When you say, I can't do that, that hurt. That hurts. It's 2 days later, you're back at physical therapy. They're trying to get you to do the same thing and wanting you to give them the same explanation as to why you can't do it. Do it look like anything happened? Have you been to the doctor? Do you think I went to the doctor in the last 2 days? Do you think I went to the doctor last week? When you asked me when was my next appointment and I told you, and you steady asking the same questions. But anyway, the review was kind of making mention of that and you kind of self-serving and all of that. So let me tell you, since I've been at this new place, the day one, they introduced two extra exercises. Day two or three of therapy, they introduced this machine. I'm there for my back. This machine makes a huge difference. My back is feeling better from whatever I've been doing in just a week. What is it? Yeah, 3 days a week therapy. It's been a week. My back already feels a little bit better. And there's this machine that she uses. And she asked me yesterday, she said, you seem to be moving better. Are you feeling better? I say, yes, I am. No gaslighting. Because the other one, they'll be like, you seem to be walking a little better today. Yeah, it don't hurt as much today. But anyway, she's like, you seem to be feeling better. I said, yes, and my back don't hurt as much. I said, no, I feel a little bit better today. And she's like, oh, is it like whatever we did last time? What was it that worked? And I told her, and she did the exact same thing. Plus, they added a couple of exercises. Now, one of them they tried to get me to do for my leg, and my leg been in pain ever since. So I'm gonna have to talk to them again because I told them day one, I'm not here for my leg. I'm not doing my leg here. I don't want you doing anything with my leg. But for my back, they've added extra exercises. It's mostly been focused on my back. And I'm like, oh, because the other place just wasted almost 6 weeks of my life having me do the exact same thing without somebody sitting there. Nothing new added, no telling you how to do like this little ball roll they added after I started complaining and it was focusing on my leg and not my back. Apparently I was doing it wrong. But because they don't watch you, I didn't know. And this lady was like, let me show you how you're supposed to do it. And then she was like, can you do it like that? And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, I've been doing it wrong. But anyway, how is it gonna help you? That's why they're physical therapists, right? So anyway, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah. So that's physical therapy chronicles. But let me get into what I was gonna talk about this morning. The whole goings on with the Roz situation. They say Roz is unfortunately you know out of here. I don't mean to say it in a harsh way. Um, I'm just trying to find a way to say, like unalive, right? That's what they say. It seems like it's been confirmed. I'm hearing condolences. I know I said something yesterday, um, because I believe at this point, oh, where's my brush? I believe at this point is confirmed. And RIP to her and her family. So when I was in the shower, so it saw Buckets went live, and I'm like, is Buckets gonna say something decent? Of course not. She's not a decent human being. She doesn't have a decent bone in her body. Where's that jail? Um, and of course she didn't. She came on here. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope you slept well. I really hope your day goes well and that you are filled with peace, and that if you can in your life, avoid the Buckets of the world, okay? Avoid them. They are walking miserable people. And it shows. The Buckets, the twin pallets, the 74s of the world. Like, first of all, Buckets was shading Twin Pallets, saying that she heard Twin Pallets live, and Twin Pallets was kind of saying what she said. That was shade, okay? That was shade, which is funny because she stayed copying and repeating somebody. But I ain't listen to Twin Pallets, so I don't know. Um, and I ain't listen to 74, and I hear that that dude um the Shrek baby do 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 the Shrek baby do 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 do. I heard that he was even talking crap, And it just goes to show that's why they are together. Birds of a feather flock together. And let me see. I'll do this. No, I think I'll do this one. Um, and it just goes to show. And they just have no compassion. But the person I heard is Buckets. So I'm gonna talk about Buckets. She can't figure out why people won't, how people can have uh, like compassion, right? How they can send condolences. She's saying that that's being fake when you know you've been dragging them and saying all kinds of stuff. When you've been fighting with her, you've been fighting with her girls. She even wanted to talk about what would happen if it was her and her kids. Because why? Because she always got to be the victim. Somebody in her comment section said, "You didn't even turn it up on them." And by the way, I listened to part of that while I was showering, and then I stopped and came live. I was planning to come live anyway, do my early morning chat or whatever. So I heard enough that I could hear on a faster speed while I was showering. And I heard that. And you ain't even turn up on her, but you did turn up on her. You absolutely did. You yelled and screamed like you lost every damn thing. That even her voice sounded hoarse. That's how much she been yelling and screaming since she claims someone called her and told her. She also claims people been in her inbox basically conversing with her about the situation. All cap, the girls in all capper. She might as well write in all caps like her girl 74. At least 74 is exposing herself like usual. She writes in all caps. You know why? Because she's all cap. So why not be on full display that way? So crap buckets need to start writing in all caps because we know that all you do is cap. Cap, 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 cap. Can't even tell the truth. Good morning, Diamond D Boo. Happy Wednesday. All caps. And um so she can't understand why people should have or could have compassion for the family um, when they have a situation where they've been fighting, where they've said all kinds of things, where they've exchanged all kinds of words. And now all of a sudden people want to send condolences and prayers and show empathy and sympathy. You know, sometimes empathy is more appropriate, sometimes sympathy is. This is one of those, is both. For her children at this tough time, they say, right? And it just speaks to the level of evil resonating within her. So let me ask it, because by the way, these are virtual people, not even that close. And you're that mad about people you don't know. So this what I want to know then. So when people that are close to her pass, like close in life, not like close in relationship. In other words, the actual interactions of it all. I don't mean that because I don't really think that she has too many, if any, actual close relationships. Yes, I said too many, if any, and yes, I'm including everybody because I don't really, I'm starting to think she don't have the ability to connect to people. Okay. And I said what I said. That includes everybody. You know, see, there's people in this world that people are tools to them. Yes, everybody, including their own children. Everybody's a tool to them. They don't have the emotional capacity to connect with people. And that includes her, and also I do ASI content. And by the way, I also think that includes Marcus. Okay. Something really, really, really happened wrong in their early childhood that makes them be that way. That's my opinion. Now, I am not a psychologist, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I'm a counselor or a psychologist, okay? I'm not going to do it. But this is my opinion, okay? I don't even work in mental health or behavioral health, okay? But that's just my opinion. because they don't have the ability to connect to people. I feel like even if that was your sworn arch nemesis, which she was, and y'all just never gonna be down like faux flat tires, you still can find it within yourself to understand that her family took a loss. You see what I'm saying? Even if you aren't going to be there for them. But she say she can't understand. And she say because people were fighting. I'm gonna look at the comments in just a minute. I just want to say this before I lose my train of thought. Um, with her, that I guess she expect it to still be up in a situation like this. So I'm wondering, like, even in her own close situations where people are somebody that's close in the bloodline, or somebody she's interacted with on a regular basis, has she had the ability to forgive? I think a lot of times people do experience the loss of someone. Not saying that it happens often, but I'm saying that it does happen from time to time when somebody might pass and you felt some kind of way about them, or you was having an issue with them, and then the next thing you know they done messed around and passed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get a chance to make up. Everybody does not get a chance to make up before the person passes. You know what I'm saying? And the way she fights with people and does not get along with people makes me think that it's very likely that she has that situation going on. And so, does that mean that in that moment she couldn't find it within her heart to forgive, to make amends? And in her case, it probably wasn't even a she needs to forgive, but she needed them to forgive her or something. Because she will start some stuff and then turn around and play victim. She fights with everybody. There's no way that somebody has not passed around her that she still has smoke with. No way. So for her and her people to not understand just really speaks to the level of evil reigning in their life, REIGN, and running their lives. They're clearly on the people like to use the word dark and you know black and stuff to describe things that are bad and negative, but that's programming. It's not the dark side, it's the red side. So that's what I'm going to call it, but I have to explain to y'all so everybody can follow what I'm saying. I don't use those analogies. That's literally programming, and I ain't going. Let me see, do I want to wear this one or that one? I think I want to wear that. So, where my glasses at? What time is it? Ooh, shoot. Boy, that time jumped. Not too bad, but it definitely jumped. Let me see. Diamond said, happy Wednesday, my love. Oh, thank you, Diamond. She said, question for Twin Palettes and Nardo. Thank you. What did Roz ever do to them? These people are next level mental. Thank you. Because that was on my list. Thank you. Thank you. That was on my list because that's what I want to know. Now, Sevenfold story is about a little punk butt, less than $100 a few years ago. Now, if she added something to it, then so be it. But I'm telling y'all, if you was in my chat the other day, what I'm telling you, her problem is based off what she said to me in my chat when she would go come in here and try to get me to turn up. And I'm like, boy, I'm over. I don't have nothing to say. And I owned mine. I was listening, doing whatever. I said whatever. And then I said to myself, what I say, what the hell am I doing? This ain't got nothing to do with me. And I don't even believe this girl. Like, this is crazy. I had to take a pause for the cause. You feel me? She was in there saying all kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm not on that type of time. I'm somewhere else, girl. You got to learn to move on anyway. Like, damn. You feel me? The only way I say you stay on something is if you have a direct reason to. Like Dusty Uno Toothed Thought. She gave me a real reason. And I still won't do that forever. I'm just having fun with it because I enjoy making fictional skits of characters that might remind you of her, that keep you cracking up laughing, that she may or may not have actually experienced in real life. And now I just learned some things and I got some more learning to do. And I'm about to, well, I ain't gonna say what I'm about to do, but I put it like this. It's about to launch some stuff. So my stuff is only up. It's only up with my stuff. But anyway, I need some water. I need to hold on one second, y'all. Let me go grab this water. I am thirsty. I am thirsty. Go to the store and get some water. Mm. Oh, wait. Let me see what's going on here. Ooh, wait. Let me check the status of this real quick. No, not now. Wait. No, not now. Reload. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Boom. Um, yeah. What did she ever do to them? Wait, what happened to that lotion? Oh, so we're gonna do this one. What did she ever do directly to them? Like I said, Sevenfold was saying it was about something that the giveaway. That's what she said her issue was. She felt like she got scammed. That's what she was saying in my chat. I'm sure she said a lot more, and y'all probably know I don't really listen to her like that. I told y'all it'd be something about the way she be talking. I can't listen to her like that. I am probably gonna go listen to the live from yesterday though, if it's still there. Because I mean, I'm probably not gonna listen to the whole thing, but I just can't. And the other one, Twin Palettes, again, it's something about her. Every time I do click on, I click right the hell back off. So, um, and then there's the Shrek baby. Do 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 do. The Shrek baby. Do 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 do. Born hooked on at least three things. What he looked like, but he was definitely born on some Shrek. And I'm not even trying to be funny. If we all not all, right? But a lot of us come from that era. And then and even if you don't come from the era when it started, hell, the stuff never went away. Okay? So therefore, you know what the Shrek babies look like. We all know what the Shrek baby. Hey, Gamma. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We all know what the Shrek babies look like. And that dude got the classic Shrek baby look. Classic. So, um, oh boy. Hold on. It's my lotion. Lotion. And so what was I saying? I was just basically saying like it doesn't make sense. I agree. That was definitely on my list because it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. And when it was sevenfold, like damn, you that down bad that you mad about a little bit of chump change. You can't even buy a decent item out the grocery store with that amount of money at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? The only way you gonna make dinner is from the Dollar Tree, and then probably not that in her case because of all the mouths up in her house making her go do job interviews in the late night hour just so she can come back um with some chicken and fry it in the middle of the night because everybody been hungry all day waiting on her to go do midnight job interviews and then get some money so she can get some food. Or maybe the money ain't for food. Maybe they all got what they call it, SNAP benefits. Maybe they all got SNAP benefits. um and they doing it that way, but so she can get something, keep the lights on or something. Over there getting body slammed and stuff. You got bigger fish to fry. And so now somebody passed. Well, we who expected sevenfold to have compassion? Nobody ever had compassion for her in her upbringing. I'm talking about them adults that was supposed to be there for her. So we can't exactly expect her. Let me take this phone with me to have compassion for a grieving family. Buckets said something about her kids. And if it was my kids, basically saying, I want to say, I think she said something about what people wouldn't do for her kids or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, you fell out with so many people, but I still think that people would be compassionate. Some of the people that she fell out with would probably even support her family. She brought up if it was her, so don't nobody come over here saying nothing to me. I'm only talking about what she talked about. Okay? She put that out there. So I'm just responding to what she said. And I think that people would show some level of empathy and sympathy because it's the loss of a human life. The worst people, some of the worst people have perished, and others were compassionate to those that survived them. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's just what happens, and she just tries grasping at straws. And I don't know why she would look at what if her anyway. This is not about you. Ain't nobody talking about. We're talking about your actions. Yeah, but we're not talking about you passing. No, that's not the conversation. Weirdo, you stinking weirdo. If it was my just trying to make herself right or feel better, and in the midnight hour talking about I'm up. Of course you up. Your I would say your spirit is vexed, but probably couldn't sleep. All that evil. That the most evil people struggle with sleeping. Well, that evil, no, it be keeping them, what that red little man, or whatever you call him, well, with them horns, he know damn well he be robbing them people where they sleep. Now that is a fact. They don't do not be able to. They do the most evil ish, and they say they sleep like a baby, but they don't. They don't rest. They do not rest. They calm. They're not calm. They are not at ease. What do I need? At all. Let me see. What is that saying? Diamond said crazy work. She said no rest for the wicked. That part. That part. They be acting like they cool, but they not. They not. And that's why, if you ask me, she was, hey y'all, I'm up. All that evil she been speaking the last few days. I don't care what happened virtually. Nothing between her and Roz happened face to face. Nothing between her and Roz happened face to face. It's mostly been an exchange of words. Don't nobody care about pictures. Don't nobody care about none of that. You know why? Because it's just words. And guess what else? What actual physical harm came to anyone? Was somebody touched? Was somebody injured? People have done wicked things and threatened to do awful things. But when it comes down to it, what actually happened? When did somebody run up on somebody? When did somebody go fisticuff? When pulling out a weapon and flashing it is not the same as putting it in your face. You can't be that hurt about somebody saying and doing things from thousands of miles away. I don't know how the distance to Texas, but it feels like it's got to be close to. Let me see. I almost asked Siri. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is this. Hold on. Don't. 1 second. Let me do this real quick. Distance to. We're gonna say Middle Texas. I mean, how many miles? Damn, almost 2,000 miles. That's an estimation. Uh, Let me see what part of Texas did they put this to? Oh, it's I said. Let me see. To let me just be. Let me do this because I think that's in the middle. Ooh, I'm good. It is in the middle. Almost 2,000 miles away. Words. Almost 2,000 miles away. And you're this upset. And anybody that shows compassion or anything appropriate, um response, reaction, emotions, I don't know if response is correct, but maybe it is a way of responding, right? If you hear it and your response is like, oh my gosh, condolences for the family, then you being fake, because that's what she's saying. But it's not fake. Okay, y'all, pause. Can I tell y'all something too? I just thought about something. One of my alarms went off and I just thought about something. Yesterday's live was real jumpy. If you listened to the replay, you heard me jumping from this to jumping to that. And I'll be talking about something not in the way that I do sometimes in the morning, but in a way that is literally like no pause. But what really happened is my phone kept going off. Not, I didn't turn my notifications off because sometimes I need my notifications. I kept having messages pop up on my phone. My phone rang. My alarm went off. And I thought that I was like, look at it for a second, clear it, and then talk or whatever. Maybe it was taking a minute to bounce back or whatever, but it sounded real jumpy. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it up there. I almost went and pinned the message to say why it was doing that. Oh man. But it was on go mode yesterday. But let me see. She said, you can't be that hurt about something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Diamond D. You can't be that hurt about something you started. But remember, Diamond D, in her mind, she's the victim. She places herself as the victim in every situation. If you like the live that she did 2 days ago, and then it was early. She was again placing herself as the victim. This lady did that to me. She shared my kids in her group. As soon as they split, she shared my kids in her group first. She did this to me first. She did that to me. She totally placed herself as the victim. Now, of course, she's not telling the truth. Where's my water? What did I do with my water? She's not telling the truth, but she placed herself. I'm moving around till when I need this. Oh, she placed herself as the victim. And you know what I think? I mean, it does reign true. A lot of times when people are liars and they keep repeating lies, they start remembering the lies. Like it's her from the first time she tells a lie, she tells the lie with so much passion, yelling, screaming, spitting at the phone. What is this? What the heck? She tells her lies with so much passion. At this point in time, I wonder if she can even remember the truth. That's what I'm getting at. You know, Diamond said, "Oh, Gamma," she said, "Kiss, I'm listening." Too. She said, "I have you in my ear, but not in the chat." All right, Gamma, boom, I got you. Multitasking. Let me see. Diamond said she was simply told to move on. Right. She couldn't handle it. It's been an issue ever since. Right. I should start back my post. If y'all I keep referencing last time because some of the stuff I said, some of the stuff I'm gonna have to do. If y'all remember, it was two things that I repeatedly used to post on my wall. Well, it's probably something else I'll think about, but I know for a fact I would listen to one of her lives, react, and then crap buckets that is. And then I would post on my live about Gamblers Anonymous, and I would also post I mean on my community wall, and I would also post about um attachment issues because I think she got I don't know how I just knew she was a gambler that with an addiction, not just a regular gambler. I knew it. And people used to come and tell me how they gamble and the money they make and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's a difference between gambling for fun, being responsible, and being an addict, blowing money you don't have that's not even yours. My mother in law was a gambler. Soon as she got her check, she ran straight to the casino. But baby, please believe she paid her bills first. Okay? She paid them bills first. And she might even gamble and then be chilling until she gets some more money because she couldn't wait to go to that damn casino. And how she got her fix? She got her fix by downloading a bunch of gambling games. And she used to that's funny. Then my son, one of my sons used to be in there. They be in there together and they be playing her game. Playing her game. It'd be like some casino slot game or whatever. And I don't think that it was for money or anything. I think it was just for fun. She had a baby in there. I mean, he wasn't no little baby. He was big enough. He was already in elementary school, but she have him in there with him. playing the games or whatever, but she was responsible. Please believe she paid her bills first. Please believe she had food in the refrigerator and everything she need. Please believe she was not asking anybody to help her get by. She did that first, and then she would go to the casino and do what she does. Her and her best friend, until um her best friend passed. But anyway, some are responsible. Anyway, back to Buckets though. Buckets just got, she clearly has that issue, but she also has attachment issues. More to the point, she has attachment issues. And with her attachment issues, telling her to move on feels like a level of rejection that she's used to. And I bet every time somebody want her to get away from them, she crash out. It's probably been happening for years. Look at what she said about Big Bobby. She said he was the kind of guy who couldn't say no. And I went, oh, bingo. There's the answer. There's the answer. He probably wanted you to get from around him and you wouldn't go. That there it is. He wanted you to get from around him and you wouldn't go and he couldn't say no. That's what happened. Thanks for telling. Thanks for telling. Been acting out from people wanting her from around them since forever. And my guess, probably starting with the root, which would be her own mother. You can't show compassion for someone losing their mother. You are a level of evil I don't ever want to encounter. And there's no bouncing back from this, people. Y'all hear me? There's no bouncing back. No matter what benefit of the doubt, I'm in my feelings a little bit because I just can't believe that somebody could be so mean. Like, I don't know why, but when I see like deep, deep, deep levels of meanness, it gets me in my feelings a little bit because I just be like, dang, this world is such an evil place. Sometimes people, they so throwed off. And instead of going to seek professional help and going to God for real, they'll rather just project their evil out to the world and project their misery out and link up with other miserable people and try to persuade people that their evil, mean behavior is okay or justify it. But you can't. You can't. There's nothing she could say to make it better. And then even if she speaks right, she already said what she said. I don't care how mad you were at somebody when they pass, unless they've done some absolutely horrible things to you. Like there are times when a person can really not care. Like you might have gotten, and most of the time people still forgive. Like they might have violated you. You know what I'm saying? They might have, and a lot of times in those situations, people still forgive and move on. And they have had firsthand the worst experiences as a result of that person. They attempted to take you out. There's a lady, when I used to be on Facebook, um, I don't know her name right now. I think she calls herself, no, I don't want to say the wrong name. And it's funny because I could see her face because when I went over there to look for the messages, her thing popped up. She has a half of her face is disfigured. Her most recent picture, she got like this little short wig. You could tell it's a wig, but it don't look super wiggy. She did something with it. So, but her situation, her husband, she had a volatile relationship with her husband. And she was done. She was ready to be done. And her husband had threatened her and all this other kind of stuff. And so she was done. She was done. Like, I'm done for real this time. He was doing all kinds of stuff. Well, he decided that he was going to do a erder ooh eye, you know? Well, he rolled up on her and he blasted her. But then he blasted himself. But she survived. And he checked out. He tried to take her out and then take himself. And he checked out and she survived. And his family wasn't messing with it or him. I told y'all that a certain level of evil get me. It just get me in my feelings. Cause the world, man, my grandma been talking about how evil people are. My grandma was a man. She knew the Bible through and through. You hear me? Through and through. But she saw some things. She could see things. But anyway, she put this man's funeral. She put his funeral on. She buried him. Said she made him look good too. This man just she could have lost her life at the hands of him. And she's walking around every time she look in the mirror, she has to be reminded of it because her face is disfigured. And that lady forgave. She could have just let them cremate him, put him in some wherever they do with the people who don't get picked up from the morgue. I think they just cremate them and then who knows what they do with the ashes. That's a firsthand account example. This lady got a virtual beef with somebody and you still on that negative energy? I told y'all she was a demon. I told y'all a demon, a demon. She just did one of those fake things to pull people in. The PK thing, I don't know. There's been plenty of times I questioned the whole PK story. I'm not going to hold you. I've questioned it out loud and on my last channel I repeatedly used to question whether or not she really is a PK. She might be one. I'm not saying she isn't, but the way she be exhibiting evil be making me wonder. It made me wonder. What's the real deal? Let me look down at the comments. What's the real deal? What's missing? Something is wrong. Something is way off. What happened? This girl she needs a freaking exorcism. And the rest of them people too. But they're following her. And I'm talking about her because I ain't see the rest of their stuff, but they're also following her. All it is because you couldn't move on. All it is because you got attachment issues. Find out this lady passed. This girl been live how many times since then? Talking. She can't stop talking about it. Let her rest. You can't fight with her no more. I'm telling y'all, as soon as this type of talk settles down, she's going to go into the archives. That's my prediction. When it happens, remember you heard it here first. Not like I'm in competition with nobody, and I don't want that to happen, but I do believe she's going to do it. I'm just saying it. Right. Right. Diamond D said that's not true. I was in the original Sister Circle. Right. And I believe that. I know that's not true. That's the narrative she's spinning. She feel like she can retell the story. What how do they call it? Basically retelling a story. It's a term that they use when like toxic people do that. When they retell stories, but they change them. Of course, cuz she always positions herself as the victim. She even said the other day that Roz is the one. She said this repeatedly though. She keeps saying that Roz is the one that brought children into the conversation. But she's the one. Roz was critiquing Latrice about the way she does her children. But a lot of people watching was starting to have questions. Let's just be real. How did we end up watching Roz in the first place? Because some of the stuff Latrice was doing was questionable. Let's just be real. But crap buckets turned the conversation about children. Hey, Tilo. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Wanda D in the building. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Let me drink some water. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. I just got to breathe. I'll be wanting to say I can't believe that people could be so evil, but I'm not surprised at all. Hmm. Okay. So, what was that? Um, right. Thank you. Tilo said, right. This is real life. We're on an app. That, that. Tilo said, if a person can't distinguish the difference in real life situations, feelings, family, friends, versus getting online shouting and cussing, PK question mark? I think not. That part. That part. Excuse me. It's not adding up. But a lot of stuff she said is a lie about her own life, her own story, and things on here. She can't even tell things that happen on here accurately. Are we supposed to believe she's telling us the truth about her life? Like I was saying the other day, we've all met a crap buckets along our journey. I think. I'm not going to say all, I'm going to say most because they're everywhere. And I feel like there are more and more these days. It's ridiculous. But anyway, most of us has met a crap buckets. And what I can tell you about a crap buckets, what they be telling you do not be true. But they will tell you a story to get you to tell them theirs. And just like her, they're probably just saving it up for Mad Day. But they're not authentic because I don't think they're secure enough within themselves to be transparent and authentic. They understand that whatever their experiences are probably different than a lot of people they're talking to, and they can't handle it. They can't handle having been that poor kid who didn't have anything or didn't get the attention, or you know what I mean. The family might have had financial struggles as far as clothing and housing and food, and you know what I mean, and who knows what was happening behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? It's not that picture perfect life. And so they just go and they just make things up, and they continue to be that adult, and they have at some point framed a story that they're going to stick to, that makes you see them a way that they hope that they think is going to make you see them that way, and they're just going to keep telling it, but it's not true. And because some people that have those same sort of situations and upbringing and things like that, and they lean into them and accept it and do what they got to do to make their lives better, they don't end up like her. They don't end up like her. It's the ones who reframe it, retell it, and all those things, and won't accept it and won't do anything for themselves and just want to play victim and be victim all the time, they're the ones who end up like her, because they just become a walking victim with no action, no action, no accountability. And I think in their minds, they probably really began to really believe they're the victim. That's why they constantly point everything as they're the victim, because they don't take accountability. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm not a behavioral health specialist or a professional. Diamond D said, when people weren't brought up properly, this is the end result. That all of that. Diamond D said, these mofos have unhealed childhood trauma, all of them, and do mad at the world for what happened or didn't happen for them growing up. It's so obvious, right? Just mad at the world. And some of the stuff they went through, people went through. But you know what? They dealt with it differently. Speaking of behavioral health, go find a professional. Well, you'd have to have a job and insurance and and money that you're willing to spend on making yourself better versus your addictions in order to do that. And if you're not willing to fix the teeth or replace the missing teeth in your mouth or not do whatever you did to make your teeth be missing, then you're probably not willing to spend money on a behavioral health professional. She said, "Hey, come here." She said, "I'm coming live at 5 one time to say something and I'm done with it." Oh, what? So what which time zone though? At 5, I guess PM, what time zone, so we all know. Or if you, or just if you set a notification, then we'll know. Diamond D. Yeah. I'll look for it so I can see when. Um yeah, this is it's literally, it's really kind of sad, to be honest with you. It's sad. It's sad that a person is that thrown off that they cannot understand people having compassion for a grieving family when children have lost their mother. And they might be young adults, but those were her children. Her beef is with, well, I ain't gonna, let me zip this up real quick. Zip that up. Where's my glasses? Oh, goodness. She said, what she'll do is take a little bit of truth, right, and lies, in order to make her the victim. The women following her, thank you for the hearts. Thank y'all for the floating hearts and the one, I think those are 100s after it. Oh, hearts. Yes, thank y'all so much for the floating hearts. She said, let me start it over. She said, what she'll do is take a little bit of truth and lies in order to make her the victim. The women following are agreeing because they call themselves a writer and scared to speak up. Yep. That, I think also, all of that definitely, um I think adding to it, I think some of them are just like her. I think some people are, they want to stay down or they just loyal and they're afraid to speak up, but I also think some of them are just like her. They are the twin palettes and the 74s of the world. They need a place to belong. They need love.
They feel some sort of something over there, attack a sense of belonging maybe. This commercial just distracted the crap out of me. Um they feel a sense of belonging, and it's a pretty sad, pathetic situation. It's a sad, pathetic situation. Mess. Oh my goodness. And as far as the other part, like the lies with the truth, yeah, and make herself the victim. I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all, when I was listening to her at the beginning, like before I became a content creator, I'm so glad that I did anyway, because it caused me to listen to others, because I wanted to know all sides. Because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not just gonna say what somebody else said. So I have to listen to both sides. Then I started watching in real time. Roz say something, Bucket say something. Roz say something, Bucket say something. Other people might be reacting. And then when you listen to Roz first, then you listen to Bucket's respond, she would sprinkle lies in with truth. She would totally change Roz's words. She would totally flip it. And by the time you were done listening to her, she was always the victim. She never started it. Roz always came at her, and it wasn't true. That's when I was like, now I got to go back into the archives and listen to Roz when I wasn't listening like that. And I was like, this girl is completely full of sugar honey iced tea. Full of it. Full of it. She lie like a rug. But somebody once told me, somebody I know. I was having a conversation with someone I know about another person. I'm like, that person be lying. Yeah, it's somebody. Well, anyway, I don't think I have to say that. But anyway, me and her was talking, and I say, so and so be lying. Now, of course, this isn't no virtual thing, right? But I got to tell y'all what she said though, because she enlightened me that day. I said, they be lying. It be sounding so real. It'd be a piece of this, it'd be a piece of that. Sometimes it'd be a little truth sprinkled in it. I said, they just be lying. And this is what she said. And I think I would never forget it, because that was many years ago. This is what she said. She said, the best lies have truth sprinkled in them. We're sitting at my kitchen table having a conversation, somebody I know. And I looked at her and I said, wow. Cause like that's real. And she was like, the best lies have truth sprinkled in them. Why do you think you believe them? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You are absolutely correct. Yeah. So when you are a habitual liar, I guess you have figured that formula out to make people believe you. But anyway, let me look down. Um Cancer silence. Did Day Day have compassion for I wasn't out here at that time? I said that yesterday. So that's not between me and them. Um I explained yesterday that I was on a break. I think everybody knows that. And I wasn't out here at that time. And I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't Why are you asking me? Do I look like Day Day? Huh? Is my name Day Day? Because I don't think it is. It's Kiss. You don't come over here and ask me about Day Day. The hell? Diamond D said, Cancer, um, did Justice have compassion for her own self when she was grieving, but still out here talking about them? Let's be real. Now that's 100. Because I definitely did see people talk about it. I didn't see the whole thing when it was going back and forth. I bopped on here. I feel like it was on the tail end of it or whatever. And I heard people talking about it. And I heard them say that she was out here even though she was going through that. I don't know. I ain't see it firsthand. And by the way, Justice Reacts cussed my ass out. She said a whole bunch of horrible things. Okay. After she called my name on one of her drunken nights, claiming that she accidentally said my name. Then she played victim. She said I turned up on her after they told me. She accused them of being messy for telling me that she called my name and talked breezy about me. She later came back and said she meant to call a different name. But it's their fault for letting me know that she said something. She started off, actually, I take that back. She initially denied. Then people in her chat was calling her out saying, you did say it. You said it. Then when I hit a panel, I was informed about it. I saw people that are solid saying she said it. So I went and watched the damn live myself, and she absolutely said it. And my response initially was gentle. I didn't say nothing breezy. I didn't say nothing crazy, nothing. I said she probably been feeling some kind of way. And then she went and said that I turned up and she turned it to the max. Lies out the pit of her asshole. Or her oversized ass. She lied. And then she just went go, go, go. Then she started talking about this bitch started talking about catching flights and all kind of weird shit. You a weirdo. And I said to myself, you know what? That career that she claimed she got, I wasn't believing her. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all right now. So I wasn't even believing her. And the fact that she would threaten to catch a flight, you just confirmed it for me. And then later they doxed her and they told you where she work at. And I believe them. Because if she had the career that she was out here saying that she had, ain't no way she would have been trying to catch a flight with me. And then I came back and I was like, first she called me fat, all kind of little stupid stuff. I'm none of the things that she called me. I don't know why the first go to about people is fat, as if it affects your character. I'm not fat, but if I was, I'd still be of good character. Blame me, blame me, blame me. Said I turned up on her. She did what we're talking about, crap buckets. That's what she did. She played victim. She kept flipping the script. I responded to her. And yes, I did turn it up, but she turned up on me first. You brought my name into this. I didn't bring your name into this. And what did I come back and I said, not you gonna catch flights. Girl, you're too old for that. Ain't you in your 60s? Then this bitch gonna turn around and say I'm 60. I ain't know when I'm okay. I mean, how far you want to go? But I'm not close to 60. You dummy. I'm not. And if I was, I damn sure wouldn't be talking like that. Cause I'm already too old to be talking like that. And I damn sure wouldn't be talking like that at your age. I said, I'm not about to catch no flight. Why would I waste money to come and see you? That's ridiculous. I said, I'm not about to catch no flight. I said, and do what? And throw hands and catch some charges and lose everything that I worked for? You sound like an idiot. And then she came back and was like, I ain't gonna catch no flight. I got too much to lose. No, bitch, you introduced catching flights into the conversation. Please don't get me started on her. She was up crap bucket's butt until crap took a big old crap and crapped her out. And she clung on for dear life until that final kick pushed her ass off the train. Fake. Another person that plays victim. Back to the conversation at hand. um, and, wait, before I'm done, let me say something. Can I just point this out? Since it came up, can I just point this out? I think it's weird AF for a 60-year-old to be on a 20-year-old head that bad. Actually, I got a couple more things I want to say. I think that's weird. Why the hell was you on that 20-year-old head that bad? I know I said a couple things. I said what I said, but I wasn't on no, I want to see no harm, no none of that. I was just talking shit. I talked crap about the date, stuff like that. I don't want to bring up old stuff. Me and her then talked. I apologize for the things that I said. We made amends. That's me and Day Day. Day Day, cool. I want to see her win. Even when I was talking a little crap or whatever, jonesing, I never went hard. And when y'all was rooting for her failure, I didn't. When she graduated, I gave her her flowers. Y'all was on some bull stuff. I kept it real. She is accomplishing what she said she accomplished. It's obvious why y'all hating on her so bad. And I always said the whole time that I want to see her do whatever she set her mind to. She a young adult. Even Majane. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Um, so even with the college thing with Majane, calling her first saying that she wasn't an attorney. When I first came out here, they kept saying she wasn't an attorney. She wasn't an attorney. You could look that kind of stuff up, and I looked it up. People was like, well, put it out here. I'm not going to put it out there because it's an address attached to it. I didn't look it up because I was trying to be in her business. I looked it up because they were saying so much that she wasn't an attorney. It had me wondering whether or not she actually was an attorney. And when I looked her up, not only did I realize that she's an attorney, she's licensed in 2 states. I'm not about to call nobody not an attorney when they are. And then they call her a failed attorney. But what did you succeed at? Why are you calling somebody a failure? You weird. And then you got this 20-something-year-old in college and you rooting for her to fail. And I always said it, no matter what else I said, I gave the girl her flowers. She graduated from 2 Ivy League schools. Some people that are college bound dream of that. A lot of them don't do it. They can't even get into those schools, let alone become an attorney, let alone be licensed in 2 states. It is a prestigious position to hold. And a young Black female single mother at that. I always gave her her flowers. And when Day Day walked the stage, dragging her, talking about an empty folder. And I'm like, are you really educated like you said you are? Because what your response to someone getting a degree isn't making sense to me. And I'm buying what you're selling. And how are you that old going at that young lady like that? What gives? And then it gets exposed that she was behind the scenes with 7-4. And I knew it because where there's smoke, there's fire. They keep on talking about they kept on talking about stuff implying she was on the back end. And she kept going like, I ain't on no back end, I ain't on no back end, I ain't on no back end. And I'm like, where there's smoke, there's fire. I said to myself, it's too much talk about her on the back end. She got to be on the back end with somebody. Got to be. That's cool. That's fine, Tilo. She said a lot of stuff. So listen, it happened. So I ain't got to lie. I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. Stick. Listen, I ain't got no problem with you, but people could choose who they want to choose. They could choose to link with who they want to link. They could choose to take whatever sides they want to take. I don't have to. I don't care. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way to you because, like I said, I don't have no problem with you. If people want to take sides in a virtual situation, go for it. But what happened happened. It happened out here and out loud, and it's very well known. And she will probably come and because I'm definitely gonna leave this one up. And she gonna come back and she gonna tell a bullshit story and flip it and play victim like she did when she started the whole thing. She said my name first. She said my name first. All the name calling she did and all of that. And I was like, yes, it was a back and forth that happened. But guess what? I said, I ain't catching no flight. And then she later tried to flip it like, I ain't catching no flight. I said, I ain't catching no flight. You a lie. Your big fat old self said that you was going to, you said you was going to catch a flight. And I responded and said, I'm not catching no flight. I got too much to lose to put it on the line. And anyway, what would you do if I did catch a flight? I'm healthy and you're not. You can't run. Imagine. But then this is the lady who walking around calling Marjane a failed attorney and walking around calling and helped 7-4 plot on her and walked around here hitting this live button going ham at somebody that she is at 20 something. She's 2 times plus her age, saying the most horrible things about the girl because you got beef with her mama. I said what I said, and I don't take it back. I don't give a damn. None. Tilo said there are a couple who quote scriptures, are church ladies. Oh, Diamond D. I don't know if I saw your read yours. She said, "Have a wonderful day, kids." You too, Diamond. Be blessed. She said there are a couple who quote scriptures, are church ladies, work in healthcare, and should know the toll that unalive takes on people. I was in chats cutting up, but would never want this for nobody. Right? Exactly. Helen Johnson said, do they realize Roz and her girls are constantly attacked? One can only take so much without responding. Prayers for Roz and her family. Absolutely. And you might want to defend your mama. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said the moment something as hard as losing a person comes into play, ain't nothing funny, and our moral compass comes into play. And yes, we may forget some of that ish. Right. So she was asking when. She said what? Because I've been rocking with her for a while. She said, y'all have a good day. But you have a good day too, T-Lo. I understand you picking her side. That's fine. That's fine. You could be more loyal to her. That's fine. She did what I said. She said what I said, and she ain't gonna keep it funky. Because if she was a real person, you know what she would have done? She would have been like, my bad, kiss. This kiss. I ain't mean to say your name. I meant to say so and so name. None of that wasn't for you. It's all good. You feel me? That's what she would have been on some it's all good type time. That's what she would have been. But instead, the first thing she did was, no, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. And them lot lizards is messy for telling her. Imagine saying you didn't do something, but following it up by calling somebody messy. They messy for telling her. Because I wasn't on here like that. I'd pop on super late from time to time, and Bama would be live sometimes, or somebody, some of the late night people. So that's what I didn't, I didn't, I didn't. Then some people kept it real and was like, you did. You called her name. I did where? And I said, let me hurry up and go watch this live so I can hear this for myself. Because hearsay and hearing it for yourself are totally different. I had to watch a couple of lives and then boom, there it was. I just sit through it, listen. Nope, that ain't the one. Boom, listen through it. I listened to I don't know, about two or three of them. And then I hit it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's it right there. That's it right there. I ran it back a couple of times. Clear as day. Kiss the ring. But then she came back and said, I meant to say kissed by the sun. No, she didn't say I mean to say. She was saying, I said kissed by the sun. That's what she said. She said kiss the ring. She said she meant kissed by the sun. That's what she meant to say. No, not she meant. I keep saying it wrong. This is what I'm trying to say. They told her she said my name. She said kissed by the sun. That's what she said. I did not say her name. I said kissed by the sun. They said, no, you said kiss the ring. I went and listened, kiss the ring, clear as day. Kiss the ring. Well, them, whatever she called them, maybe bees, heifers, something she called them. She said that she might not have said the B word. I don't remember, but I do remember this. She called them lot lizards. She said the lot lizards was messy for telling me. They just trying to start mess. Why they had to tell her? I would have never known had they not told me. But that don't make them messy. They should have told me because you shouldn't have said it at all. It is what it is. She started with me. And then she wanted to have a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm talking about all kind of threats. Y'all tell me y'all didn't see this. There's too many of y'all out here now and that was out here that witnessed it firsthand. We ain't gonna be fake up on this thing. We ain't gonna be fake. And what did she do? Every opportunity she played victim. And then she kept backpedaling. I'll catch a flight. And I'm like, I ain't catching no flight. All the things I done did with myself to this point in life. And I'm gonna catch a flight for you? That's federal time. You're not worth it. Next thing she know, I ain't catching a flight for nobody. I ain't catching a flight. I'm like, I got too much to lose. I ain't catching a flight. I got too much to lose. I said, you know what? I knew her ass was lying about being a damn therapist, a counselor, or whatever the hell she called herself. I said, I knew it. The moment she said she was going to catch a flight, I said, I knew she wasn't no damn counselor. I knew it. I'm just being real right now. I said, I knew it. I knew she was lying. Because if that's what you did with yourself, you are not putting it all on the line because of some virtual stuff. It ain't even impressive to say you going to catch a flight. That's not even impressive. Ridiculous. I'm supposed to be out here talking about crap buckets. And I didn't got segued into that heifer. I don't know what happened. I wasn't out here at that time. I said what I said. I don't know who because Tilo says she don't remember, but you know what, Tilo? If I'm just gonna keep it completely 1,000 right now. You was in the chats. Yes, I went back and I watched the lives. Yes, I went back and I'm not even a chat watcher like that. You say you don't remember, I guess. But you know what, T-Lo? You was in the chats. Boom. There, I said it. There, I said it. You was in the chats. So it happened. Okay. It is what it is. It's supposed to be about crap buckets. I don't care. What is that thing that be popping up? Let me see something. Hold on. There we go. Because I'll be wanting to see. Oh, yeah. Somebody laughing, I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna turn up or nothing. And T-Lo ain't never did nothing to me. And I don't expect people to remember everything that happens. I don't. But when you say like you're like low key questioning, like you're defending her, like I'm not being honest, but you was actually in the chats. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. You was. And I don't have to pretend anything. She was name calling, she was threatening, she was doing the absolute most. She gonna turn around and even say she must have been wanted to say something. She must have been wanted to say something. All that she had to say. She said I came out the box just going ham, but I didn't. I took it easy. My first response was very easy, intentionally so. I was very intentionally not gonna go ham until I hear for myself what was actually said. And I didn't. And then once I heard it, well, I can't unhear it. And now I know how you feel. And this was at the time, at that point in time. Then the next time I hit the panel, I said what I said. Mind you, this is at a point in time of me hitting the panel of her still saying she didn't. She didn't call my name. Then when I hit the panel and say, not only did you, but you lying and saying you didn't, she turned around and goes, and then people start calling her out. Then she turns around and goes, well, I didn't mean to call her name. First, she said she didn't. I called Kiss by the Sun. Then she turned around and say she wasn't trying to call my name. She was trying to call Kiss by the Sun. That's what I was trying to say at first. First, she said she didn't. Then, once she was made, then she started saying she called Kiss by the Sun. I don't give a damn. And now you all on that back end, ain't it? Miss, I ain't on the back end. After the crap buckets fall out, couldn't even keep it on damn um over here on YouTube. Had to take it over to damn whatchamacallit. What is that? What I want to say. Zoom. And I don't know what she say. I don't listen. I wouldn't be surprised if she ain't live right now. I don't give a you know what. But I tell you one thing. I didn't believe she was no damn counselor from the moment she said it. That's the truth. And when they doxed her, I was like, yep, that sounds about right. You talking all that stuff about these young ladies and look at what you did with yourself. That sounds exactly about right. Let's just rip the band-aid off and say it all. Even when there was no beef that she started with me, guess what? I didn't believe she was a counselor. I just didn't. I know the pictures and from within the office and all that kind of stuff. I know all of that. I didn't believe her. Nope. And I don't really care. And if somebody want to take her side over mine, then stay on it. If you want to take her side over mine, if you want to feel like you got to take sides, If you want to feel like you got to pick and choose when it comes to me and her, then don't. Let me make the choice for you. Take her side. Cause I'm not the type to be like it's me or her. I'm not that type. I don't care about being in both chats. I do care if you got shit to talk about me. I do. Now that I got a problem with. Don't come over here if that's what you're doing. You on that bull talking crap about me? Nah, I'm straight. I'm not gonna say pick and choose because that's ridiculous. But like I said, if you feel like you have to choose between me and her, choose her. Choose her. If you can't be neutral, choose her. See, because I can watch people virtually fight and go back and forth and know that they don't bread my butter. If I'm down with you and if I like two people that are fighting and neither one of them did anything to me, you're not going to make me choose. I connect with people out here that um have beef or end up having beef. I don't turn on them because somebody else don't like them. That's just not how I roll, and I'm not gonna. But if a person feels like you can't be down with both of us and you feel like you got to choose, I'm not going to tell you who to choose. But what I am going to tell you is this: don't come over here defending her. That's what you're not going to do. What she did to me was out of pocket, and I'm not playing victim. But she did start it. But I'm nobody's victim. Please don't get it twisted. Don't y'all start trying to say she played victim. She started it and then she flipped it. When I tell you, it really showed me who she is because she completely played it crap bucket style. She played victim and she flipped it. She flipped it. Everything that was happening, she was blaming on me, her turning up first. She said, still listening, LOL. I guess I didn't turn the corner with the conversation, but she made herself like she was acting like I was the initiator. How am I the initiator? I'm barely out here. I'm doing things where my time is restricted. I don't even really have time to be on here like that. That's what was happening at that time. And here we are dealing with her playing victim. She started it. And if she was a real woman, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say what I got to say about buckets, and then I'm about to be done. If she was a real woman, in closing, if she was a real woman, she would have been like, my bad. I meant to say kissed by the sun, not kiss the ring, and extended that olive branch that it was on her to extend because she introduced my name into the conversation. But she didn't do that. Instead, she accused me of turning up on her. She accused me of turning up on her when I did not, and she took it to another level. And I would have been out here going back and forth for a long time. I probably would have, but I literally was getting some things done in life and I just didn't have time. And honestly, I get tired. I said what I had to say. It wasn't no point of me arguing with her, going back and forth. She just wanted something to do. She just needed something to talk about. And clearly, she had a problem. Clearly, because the stuff that she said to me didn't make no sense unless you've been feeling that kind of way. And if you're listening now or if you listen later, middle finger to you, you old, unaccomplished, fat, 60 some year old B word stuff you try to say to me. Your ass the lot lizard, bitch. I ain't never been a hoe. Anywho, thank you, Bama in the building. A witness, another witness in the building, and some of them probably in the bushes. A first-hand witness. Um, Tilo said, I don't have a side, and I have always said that. Okay. She said, I like who I like. I asked you when and what. And I'm not mad. I'm not. She said, look, she said, we don't know each other out here. So as we learn what we think we know about a person, okay, that's fair. She said, you may find that hey, I got something in common with Day or Fee. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not actually mad. And maybe I took that a certain kind of way. Because I honestly don't listen, I really don't want to fall out with nobody behind her. I don't, because what happened with her was out of pocket. And just like the shit, the crap bucket situation, there's gonna be people that's gonna believe her and see her as a victim. She introduced my name into the conversation. I never said a ill word about her. And she was on a drag fest with my name in her mouth. And then when people told her, she lied. Bama is in the building. If you want to chime in, good morning, Bama. Happy Wednesday. I was talking about crap buckets. We done segued to unjustly. Okay. When she came out here and called my name and was talking ish, and I hit your panel, and you and TRW told me, and then how did she initially react? She lied. First, she said she didn't. And then, when people kept bringing it to her awareness that she did, then she turned around and started saying, calling y'all lot. Yes, she's, thank you. No, it was, oh, okay, right. Okay, you said it was about your panel. Right. So, but she said, kiss the ring. But then when she got called out, she backpedaled. First, she said she didn't and stood 10 toes on it. Then some of the people rocking with her was in her own chat saying you did. And then she turned around and what did she say? She kept saying, she said, kissed by the sun. I keep saying she said she meant to say. No, she said kissed by the sun. No, she did. She eventually started saying she meant to say kissed by the sun. She was talking about kissed by the sun, but you said kiss the ring. Then she turned around and said, I turned up on her. So I must have been feeling some kind of way, but I didn't. Did I turn up on her initially, Bama? Did I? Or did I just say something like, oh, well, I guess she feeling some kind of way? Was I easy at first? My very first response. Did I go ham on her? I did not. I did not. She called me everything but a child of God. I wasn't even out here like that. That's what makes it the weirdest. Her energy was so weird. I'm not mad though. Mad is not the proper description for how I feel. Let me put on my moisturizer. Mad is definitely not the proper description for how I feel at this very moment in time. But oh, hold on. 1 second, y'all. Woo. Oh man. Moisturizer. I walked out the door yesterday and forgot to put on moisturizer. I don't really want to deal with that drama. There was a bunch of drama when I'm that age. Ain't no way I'll be acting like that. She want me to be her peer, but I'm not. Or not. People just be wanting to fight for no reason. They got nothing else. You came at me sideways when you was throwed off that bourbon, gone off that bourbon. What did I just do to my eyes? She said, did the chat move? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My initial reaction was easy. I didn't go ham on her because I was like, I don't, in my mind, I don't want to have a problem I don't have to have. That's some grown woman ish. I was confused. Like, why is she calling my name? I ain't said nothing. I ain't said nothing out the way when I initially was like, huh? What did she say? What happened? I was on a fact finding mission. I didn't say nothing out the way the first time. Maybe she all said, maybe she already had a problem for her to be talking like that. That's how I responded. It was gracefully. And then she came back after she couldn't back out of it no more because people kept being like, yeah, you did. Then she was just like, oh, well, she must have already had a problem. She turned up on me. And then she turned it up and turned it up. And then she kept going live and cranking it up on me. I'm like, you crazy. I said, you know what? And that I'm telling you, that whole thing solidified some things. I was never gonna say, but I was thinking. I said, you know what? Now I know she a drunk. And now I know that she is not a counselor. Now I know. Those two things I believe to be true. I said, nope, I don't know what she is, but I know what she ain't. And then they exposed her for being a detention specialist. Anybody can get that position. And then what they said, a truancy officer. And I thought to myself, remember when she took everybody on a tour of her home when she was an officer and when she used to chase people down? And when they exposed that, I was like, oh, she must have been on her truancy mission looking for missing children. So she took people on a tour to be like, this is what I used to do when I was the police here. But the truth is, she was out going around neighborhoods looking for children that weren't showing up to school. I gotta brush my teeth real quick. Hold on. Oh, I don't need to change the battery. Okay. Actually, before I do that, let me do this. Bama said, and then with the confusion, she had to stick with it. Yeah, she had to stick exactly. But she could have just been real and been like, it. See, the thing about it is, if she really didn't mean to say my name, she wouldn't have responded the way she did. The fact that she did means that she actually meant to say my name. And I just think that because you and her was into it, I got thrown in the mix. You, her, and TRW was into it, and I got thrown in the mix because I hit your panel. That's what it's really given. But she can't stand 10 toes on it. Because when people was calling her out, she was like, oh, and I appreciate y'all that had my back. Even if that's not what your intentions were, that's how it comes across to me because y'all are the reason. I was like, I absolutely have to go find this video. Well, actually, I heard, I think somebody was in a chat saying it. And then when I found her video, the first one I watched, I think it was the first one, it was her saying, um, I didn't. And then I saw people in the chat saying, you did to her in her chat. And I was like, no, I got to find this video right now. Let me see. Tilo said, like, I'm finding out how you just took me asking out of context, saying I got a side. She said, last night you said that you had no idea of what was going on about Roz passing, but the had to correct it and double back because you have had your ears to the streets and knows what's happening. But I'm here because I like you and your commentary. Justice knows I don't agree with everything she says, but you cranking it up. I'm not trying to go at you, Tilo. So if that's how it came across, maybe I was defensive. Let me just apologize to you if that's how it came across. because that's not what I'm intending to do. I was being defensive. That's a fact. I am defensive about the topic, but I wasn't trying to go at you. I just was generally stating that if people want to take sides, they can, because it's already been in my mind that the moment that this justice thing comes up, some people are going to take sides. And I'm just cool with it. And I really don't. You know what? So that's it, just is what it is. And the fact that she completely played victim, if somebody doesn't see it or didn't witness it firsthand, they might be prone to want to see her as the victim. When the truth is, she completely started it with me, and all her responses were lies. So, yes, I'm being defensive, and I should defend myself. She put me on the defense, and I'm nobody's victim, but she definitely put me on the defensive with the way that she kept flipping it. Come um, on the offensive and then flip herself into the defensive position. And she kept doing it. And I don't think subscribers should have to get in the middle of anything. You like who you like. Like I said, I still rock with people that got beef with each other. Don't have nothing to do with me. It's not gonna change how I feel or how I support you. That's one thing. I wanted to say something else. What was the other thing? Let me see. Oh, and when I say I have my ear to the streets, since I've been back out here, or when I was out here last time watching stuff, but that time frame that it happened with her father, I wasn't out here. When I came back to listening, I heard some people reacting. It was on the tail end. While it was a back and forth, I wasn't out here. I've been said that. I've been said that there was a spell that I wasn't out here at all. Not just when I didn't have an account or when I was a guest, but period. When I hit this app and I went straight to legal stuff, I wasn't listening to this. I missed that whole thing. But what's happening with this? I have history that I'm aware of the back and forth shenanigans between Crap Buckets and Roz and her people, and what's happening since I've been back out here. But I did miss a spell a couple of times. And it just is what it is. They to the streets right now. I've been transparent about where I was, and when I wasn't. What I do know, what I don't know. And hell, I might not even remember sometimes. Because hell, I ain't trying to remember all of that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Somebody might say something and I'll be like, oh yeah. That's just how it is. Now, one thing about me, let me also say this. Because if I mean to offend you, I'm going to say I mean to offend you. And I'm going to cuss your ass out and I wouldn't give a damn. So if I say I didn't mean to offend you, I do. I think everybody knows that about me. I'll say middle finger to you and take your ass home. Get from around here. Don't come back if that's what I mean. So I'm not being fake. That's like Justice with all the stuff that she said about me and sent my way. Middle finger to you, you fat, old, ugly bitch. Choke on a corn of cob. No, okay, take that back. I take the last part back. It's giving misery. Mm. I gotta do something real quick though. She said, "Oh me." She said, "What I do?" She said, "You got to get to what? I got to get to Kroger." Wait, who got to get to Kroger? What you mean, Tilo? Where's Kroger? Mm, mm. Oh, I got you said. You said Oh, you were saying because they'll change your you to an I. Okay, well, hopefully it's cool, T-Lo. That's what I'm trying to say. From my end, it's cool. I ain't got no issue. I hope you understood what I was saying. My problem was with justice. That's it, and that's all. And obviously, crap buckets. And the people's chump. I guess the longer you stay out here, you be racking them up. But I guess 3 compared to 50 ain't bad. It could be worse. I could be at like 50. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll be real. And I'll be trying to be as real as I can be for the most part. It just is what it is. It had to come out anyway. But there's plenty of people out here that remember that firsthand anyway. That's why when I first did come back out here, one thing about it, I was listening to I know her and Fee is cool. And I like Fee. I've always supported Fee, even my last time around. But when she had that fallout with crap buckets and people were supporting her, yes, I was watching. Because why wouldn't I? Everybody watches when people beef. You want to see how people respond and stuff. And people was out here supporting her. We're talking about justice right now. This took a different turn. People was out here supporting her, calling her name. These different former train riders was out here supporting her, like as the fallout was happening. And instead of being a real woman and being like good looking Fee, period. Thank you. Cool. Appreciate that. Or whomever else. It started off because when I said something, it was Fee, but it continued with other CCs standing 10 toes, calling her name. And you know what she kept saying? Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know who you are. Still on some competition type ish. If they can thank you by saying your name, you could say you welcome by saying their name. And I said that. I have it on some shorts. If somebody can thank you by name, you welcome them by name. Not shout out to you. You know who you are. Who the hell is you? Shaq? They called your name. Call their name. And I kept saying, and then all of a sudden she started saying names. Only after I called it out. You weird. Something wrong with you. Your story ain't matching either. You better hope they don't crank it up on you. Cause the fallout of you, Justice, is gonna end up like crap buckets. Y'all got something in common. I said it. And I don't care. Y'all got something in common. A lot. I bet y'all got crossover like people can't even see. I see it though. I see it. I'm telling y'all, I see it. I been saw it, but we was cool, so I just wasn't gonna say anything. But even when you know what, I I could do a whole other live on her, and I guess other stuff I could say. You know how you can see stuff, but y'all got a somewhat of a rapport, so you just gonna keep it cute because the only people who really like being into it with people is buckets. So sometimes you just keep it you just keep it cute and keep it pushing, but you see what you see. You got the questions that you have, And you just know that you can see what you see. That's the situation with justice. I know I could see what I could see, but I just decided to keep it cute as long as it was cute. So am I surprised at what she did when it comes to me? No. No, I don't want to be fighting with nobody, but I'm just going to tell you, like I said, it confirmed everything that I was thinking because I was not buying what she was selling. Not. And then she turned around and came back. And what did she say? I didn't say, oh, she said, oh, she didn't say, she didn't say she said she wasn't a counselor. She said she never said she was a counselor in North Carolina or South Carolina. Is it South? South Carolina, somewhere, one of them Carolinas. She's like, no, that you lie. You lied. You said you was a counselor in Chicago, and you said you was a counselor in South Carolina. And if people want to let you lie to their face, let them. Are you deaf? Does your memory not work? You did say it. And you try to prove it in Chicago by waiting till the counselors was at lunch and going in their office and turning the camera on, pretending like it was your office. And I knew it wasn't her office. You know why? Because just like we said about when Majane went live in that office that looked like the general one everybody uses, it wasn't nothing in that office that screamed, "This is mine." And if it's yours, it's going to be some markers that make it personal, more personal. Anyway, let me move on. Facts. Where's my shoes? I don't know. I don't know how to take the laughter, but I ain't gonna keep being on the defensive. I just be wanting to be out here kicking it, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever it is. And if somebody want to play victim and people want to take sides, and I'm not saying this to Tilo, I'm just saying it in general, then go for it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Believe who you want to believe because she already played victim, which means she's gonna play victim. What else would she do? She already showed you who she is. Hell, you already know who she is anyway because she won't even keep it funky about who she is and what she does. Some people come out here and they go, I'm not going to tell you that much about me. I respect you doing that instead of lying to me. You feel me? And then some people come out here and they lie, lie, lie like a rug. If you don't want to tell people who you are, don't tell them. Why you had to come out here and lie to their face? You're out here lying to people's faces about who you are, knowing you lying. You doing too much. Oh, there's that plug. You doing too much. And that's what I think about her. I think she could have just said, no, y'all, I don't want to tell y'all what I do for a living. But I think she wanted you to take her word on certain things. So much so that she decided that if she tell you she holds that position, you will most more so listen to her. You will give her more, her voice, a louder voice, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, because she is a professional in the behavioral health field. So some of the things that she say gonna hit differently. I'm saying if it was true. That's my opinion of why she lied. But I don't, I'm telling you, I'm trying to pinpoint exactly what it was. I can't exactly tell you at this moment. All I know is when she said she was a counselor, I just didn't believe it. I just didn't believe it. Maybe she didn't sound like one or something. You know, they talk a certain way. Social workers, counselors, people in that field, there's something about them that makes them seem the way that they are based, you know, they're based off their professional choices or whatever. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Anybody want to get twisted me saying what I said? Like I said, let me just remind y'all one more time. If I don't mean it that way, I'm going to say it. If I ain't trying to get into it with you, please don't get yourself twisted. Because if you one of those ones, that I don't GAF, and you come over here on that type of you come over here on some type of energy, and I'm questioning you, I'm going to from 0 to 100 real quick. So please don't misread. Um, I think there's other chords because I think. Oh yeah, I left the cord. I don't need this cord. I do not need this cord. Please don't misread it. Don't misread the room. Let me get to your chat real quick, Bama. I was trying to pack my bag real quick. She said, I think a lot of people got mad with you when Roz came out and spoke on your video, even though y'all wasn't. Ain't no lot of people mad with me. That is not my conversation. She spoke on my video. I don't even know what I said. All of that's over. That is over. I'm talking about justice. I apologize to them for anything I said that was out of pocket and everything. We done moved on past that. I don't know why anybody would be mad at me or whatever. The problem, I'm talking about what happened with justice coming at me sideways for no apparent reason. That's my conversation. Oh, when I left? Oh, she said something when I was gone? Okay. You're talking about when she said something about my video when I was still out here, though, right? There we go. I was looking for my shoes. That's what you're talking about? She said something about my video because I wasn't on no bull. I don't remember exactly what I did say, but I remember that I was giving people credit where credit was due, regardless of what was happening. But I made amends with all of them anyway, because that was dumb anyway. I feel like I did. Yes, I was out of pocket. As far as justice goes, she started with me. She cranked up on me, and everything she said was about me. I wasn't as far as hold on, I'm trying to get my shoe on. I'm in the back of it. Don't wanna unflip. Hold on. But anyway, like I said, I was talking about the situation with justice. Bama, you talking about something else. I'll talk about the situation with justice. She was fighting with you and TRW, looking for something to do, looking for something to talk about. And I hit your panel, and somehow I became a part of that equation. I hadn't even looked at YouTube in a couple of months when that happened. I didn't even realize that y'all was into it like that until I hit. Well, okay, let me. No, no, no. Okay, so at that time, I hadn't even really looked at the app, and then I hadn't really watched that, and yeah, I was doing other stuff, and then I said, let me go see what's going on over there, and I came back, and a lot of stuff had happened in a short amount of time, and then all of that stuff happened with her. And then after a couple of months or whatever, I went away again because they're like, every time I opened the app and came to this group, I'm like, damn, it's always so bad. It's always bad. It's always negative. Somebody always fighting, somebody always into it. There's always a problem. And it is so, ugh. I was at the point in life, I'm like, I don't want to hear all of that drama. I just needed a break. It was just too much drama. Don't nobody want to hear that. All drama all the time, all negativity, all misery, all arguing, all fighting, always somebody into it. Always, always, always. Like, damn, life can't be that bad. She said it boiled down to Justice was mad with me and TRW, and when you came up, she started with you. Period. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. I don't take sides. Sometimes I do. I ain't gonna say I'll never take a side. Sometimes I'm gonna take a side. Yep, sure is. And can. And that's my business. But sometimes I'm not gonna take a side. I don't have to take a side. If I'm cool with this person and I'm cool with that person and they get into it, I don't have to get in the middle of that. I don't. I've experienced it in real life. I had two people that I considered friends and they fell out bad. I mean, they fell out bad, bad. And one of them, who I'm no longer friends with, wanted me so bad to take her side. So bad she wanted me to take her side. But I'm friends with both of y'all. And I don't have no problem with Nam one of y'all. And the one that wanted me to take her side, she kept trying to talk to me about the other one. And I wouldn't let her. Every time she bring her name up, I'll be like, I don't want to hear it. You're gonna have to vent about her to somebody else. Cause I was just loyal. You know what I'm saying? Plus, the funny thing with the real life situation is the girl that was trying to get me to take her side the most, I wasn't even friends with you as long as I was friends with her. If I was gonna pick sides, but she wanted me to take her side so bad. And we went on in life being cool for some years after. The two of them remained having beef. She would tell other people stuff to try to persuade them to take her side in the beef. And ultimately, the situation when me and her came to a head is she got mad at me one day and she brought up the fact that I wasn't loyal because I kept talking to the other girl. And I was like, okay, well, we don't have to put a plug in this. Oh, I'm like, what was I getting ready to grab? We have to put a pin in that because nobody makes me pick sides unless I want to. I don't have to fall out with somebody else because another person fell out with them. If you my kid or something else, that's different. You my sister, that's different. You got smoke with her, you got smoke with me, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? But on some virtual stuff, well, you done lost your damn mind. Completely lost it. Um Right. Bama said, I believe you hit the panel and was gone for a minute. That's when you learned that she called your name. Yep, that's what happened, Bama. She said, morning kiss. Oh, hey, Saret Boo. Happy Wednesday. Salty Balls in the building. Said, good morning, just joining. Can you recap so I can get caught up, please? So I was talking about crap buckets and whatever was going on. Um hold Um, I'll tell you in just 1 second. She said, wait, what's happening? Okay, so I was trying to, oh, she said, I see she went, who, oh, Buckets, yeah, she went live early this morning. And I'm like, what did I come in here to grab? Oh, I know what I came in here to grab. She went live early this morning and I'm trying to think. Yeah, let me do this. She went live early this morning on some fake sympathy thing. And then I was just recapping another situation where, I mean, it was inevitable to come out. I wasn't initially gonna even bring it out today, but somebody brought up another situation. Basically, the time Justice went sideways at me and tried to crank it up and keep me in the beef and talking all that stuff. She had a problem with Bama. She had a problem with TRW. Then she kept calling my name, lying, saying she didn't, playing victim, all of that. And a lot of people witnessed it firsthand. Then gonna lie and say that she said kissed by the sun when she said kiss the ring and all that, calling my name wrong anyway. Ouch. I'm back now. People can remember my new name or whatever. When my name was Kiss the Ring, there were certain people that would call me Kissed by the Ring, which I don't know how that happened, but I got an idea. As a matter of fact, it's funny because it's another person who used to be like supposedly down like four flat tires. And honestly, they don't even speak to me in the chat. And if you hear this, don't start speaking. Because like I said this morning, if I don't mean to offend, I'm gonna say it. But if I mean to offend, I'm gonna stand on it. And that particular person who used to always remind me how they was down like four flat tires and now you can't speak to me in chats, don't speak to me in the chats. When you hear this, don't. Middle finger to you too. I know what you're doing. You took Jess's side. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. It's gonna blow up in your face just like all them other decisions blew up in your whack ass face. Is is imagine supporting somebody that's on the struggle bus and they got the nerve to try to crank it up on you. Stay your whack ass right where the hell you at. Don't speak to me. I spoke to that person. Since I came back, I spoke to that person a couple of times and they just ignored the fuck out of me. Oh, fuck you, bitch. Don't speak. You know who you are. I know you know because you sure caught that post. I ain't say your name, did I? But you know what you're doing and I know what you're doing. All I did was post and you course corrected and I meant exactly what the fuck I said. Let's clear some motherfucking virtual furniture up in this bitch and clear it on behalf of that fat heifer. Cause you small and she big. Her fat ass can't run, bitch. I can't even find what I'm looking for. Hold on. I know what I gotta get it from over here. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is that because why not? This this material feels like it feels like somebody wanting me. I I be feeling good when I wake up in the morning, but sometimes, see this app, it just be so negative sometimes. The stuff that's going on. I just feel like, like I said, I was trying to talk about buckets and basically I don't care. I don't know how you could be that level of upset or unforgiveness or whatever. I don't even want to say unforgiveness because she's the offender in the situation. She's the offender. And yes, I did go on one about justice with her name being brought up. I didn't see what happened with her and Day Day. I don't care. I don't. She's as she is her big age. She is out of pocket. She is completely out of pocket with that young lady. And that's how I feel. So I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing. And I've been said that. I said that way beforehand. I said that when before she turned up on me. I've been said that. Why at her big age is she going so ham on a 20-year-old? I've been said it. It's given before they exposed her life. It was given unaccomplished dreams or something. All of that. And like I said, when she was going at me sideways, you up that train's butt crack. What did I say? Anybody remember? Does anybody remember? Did I not say that the train girl was gonna crap her out? I said she gonna use you and ball you up and throw you away. Did I not say it? I called it. I called it. And what did she come back and say? She ain't nobody's do girl. That's what she basically said. I'm summarizing. She came back and said she wasn't nobody's do girl. Yes, you are. That's exactly what you was doing. Being a do girl for buckets. Why? Because she throw you $5 here and there. You make a little bit of money. And then once she got your back all the way to the wall and you got exposed for low key being on the back end, plotting, plotting on who you call the failed attorney. It wouldn't matter if she never litigated a case. She graduated from 2 Ivy League schools and is a young black female attorney and a single parent licensed in 2 states. How is that failing? You and crap buckets are the same. This needs to be iron. But my phone know it love to ring when I'm on here. Um Salty said, I'll never forget hearing Crap Buckets cry because she ain't want to be her friend no more. She been going hard ever since trying to prove that a Christmas raffle was a scam. Boy, she did not let up. She ain't let up, boy. She has been on one ever since. Y'all know my phone gets to going. So I don't know if y'all even heard me because it rang 2 times in a row, but I can't really um I can't really turn the sound off. I can't turn the notifications off right now. I gotta multitask. And it will get to going. But I just said it's pathetic. Let me see. She said, Salty said, but like Roz said, if she would have gave crap buckets some of the money, she would not have went that hard. Right. She said crap buckets is still mad that she was cut out the raffle. Right, exactly. And she ain't gonna never get over it. Even in a point, um, even in a point in time when it seems as though the news has been confirmed that unfortunately Roz is no longer alive. It seems to be confirmed. And she's still mad about some money she wasn't entitled to. She wasn't entitled to. And the comment saying, amen about Majane being an attorney. Right. And that's what I was saying. Let me see. Helen Johnson. I don't know if I spoke to you yet, but good morning. Good morning. Like I said, that was about justice and all the rest of them, to be honest with you. But over there calling that girl a failed attorney. First, it was she's not an attorney. Then it turned into she's a failed attorney. But like I said, even if she never litigated a case, she's still an attorney. There's a difference between practicing. There's people who got law degrees and eventually went on to be consultants or anything else. They're not practicing attorneys, but they're still attorneys. She's a practicing attorney. I know I made jokes saying click, clack, boom. Is she going to work or is she going somewhere else? I did make those kind of jokes. I'm not going to say I didn't. I apologize. So I'm not going to be bringing up a bunch of stuff that's already been course corrected. But ultimately, I never said she wasn't an attorney. I never said that she was a failed attorney. And I always gave her her flowers.
And when I would come out and say, why are you going that hard at that young black female with all the credentials that I just said? Justice would come back and be like, I don't care about blah, 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 and just take it away. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, I won't say nothing too much because we wasn't into it. But I was thinking to myself, what is happening in your life that you gotta be like that? Your story don't add up to me. It doesn't add up. Pause 1 second, y'all. I'll be back in a minute. It just didn't add up to me. And of course, once they found out that she was, then it turned into a failed attorney. And even when she won that case, no matter what the status is currently of the case, they all came out and what did they say? They said that she um what did they say? They said that she lost. When you try to multitask, your brain be like, nope, ain't gonna do it. Um, they said she lost. And what did I do? I came out here and I said, shout out to her. She represented herself and she won. Of course, I went and looked. I said she won. They said we was on the Zoom and we was listening, and when we heard everything, and I'm like, you can't secretly be on a Zoom case. It don't work like that. And her being an attorney on behalf of herself, she would be able to see who's on those calls, even if they're just watching. So I don't know if that was even really true. I'm not sure where they was getting the information from, but at the end of the day, she did win. I said she won. Give credit where credit is due. Then, as in true justice fashion, she backpedaled. I ain't no hater. I'ma give credit, but that wasn't your first reaction. Pause. I'll be right back. All right. She came back and she said, I ain't no hater. I'm gonna give credit where credit due. If she won, she won. People was already starting to post and give her shout out, congratulations to her for winning. But at first, they was on that type of time. She didn't win. She didn't win. She lost. At first, if we want to go backwards, what they were saying was that the case was already over when it hadn't even been litigated. Then she had lost when there had been no trial. Then once the actual trial date, the real trial date came out and she won, they said she was lying.
But it turned out she actually did win. Yes. Even then, justice was hating on her. But she backpedaled in that situation. Her initial reaction, she hated on that girl. And I kept thinking to myself, why do you hate her so bad? It's not making sense. I do not believe your story. I didn't believe it. You've been exposed now, so I already know better. I don't give a damn what she come out here and say. I could give a. She think I turned up. I didn't. I kept it cute. Even when I turned up a little bit, I still held back. I'm just being real with you. I still held. One second. Okay. I still held back. But at this point in time, we can go. You will be another person we can clear some motherfucking furniture with while you playing. We can clear this shit. We can clear. I ain't talking about clearing no air. Fuck you. But we can clear some full ass fat bitch. How the fuck a 60-year-old is that motherfucking mad at some young girls that's doing career moves? They getting educated. They making career moves to set themselves in a position in life that'll be different than the one your fat ass is sitting in at your big motherfucking age, supersized age. This has taken a turn. We gonna stay on justice right now. See, I ain't have no fucking channel when that bitch turned up on me. I said a little this and a little that. I didn't say that much and I still went easy on her. But fuck you, you fat stanky bitch. I'm telling you, your life is similar to Buckets, except you had to work because you ain't had no fucking choice. Buckets found a motherfucking host. She a leech and she found a host. Patches and then her children. You ain't got no host. So you had to fucking work. I wouldn't be surprised if your life, if you ain't got some shit in common with motherfucking. I don't want to go as far as 7-4 because we know 7-4 got the adoption and all of that, but it's some you belong in that crew. That's what it's screaming. Cause how the fuck can you be that motherfucking mad at somebody that you wanna take participate in a motherfucking plot that could ultimately cause them to be the fuck up out of here, either by their own hands or someone else's. Huge red flag. Ginormous red flag. All that shit she said about me, bitch. Fuck you. From here until eternity. With a dildo too, bitch. Maybe if you sat on something, you wouldn't be as fucking cranky. Stupid bitch. Fuck you. Go ahead and report this. I don't give a. What is he doing? Oh, that you do not have to right away, OG. He was confused. I guess he thought I was about to go. I was not about to go. Driving an old throwback Chrysler, whatever that minivan is. Caravan, ain't that what it is? But it took a whole turn. It took a turn, a direction I wasn't planning to go into, but however I did. So yeah, there is that. It is what it is. I was holding back, like I said. I'm trying to build, I'm trying to grow. I know a lot of people was cool with a lot of people. Some of y'all saw what happened, some of y'all didn't see. I ain't really had no channel. The position, what let me say, however, wherever I was, whatever, however I was feeling at the moment, I don't know, I don't think I was gonna say, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. But when you got no, because I feel like no matter what I say or however I'm about to say it, they're gonna misinterpret. They're gonna choose to misunderstand what I'm saying. So I'm just not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it at all, but it is what it is. And like I say, since I got on Justice, we gonna stay on her. And then I'll do crap buckets another time. I ain't listened to the whole live anyway. Although you know what's funny though, sometimes some of these people they are draining. They are draining. You talk about them and you just feel like they zap your energy. They just zap your energy. But some of y'all like her. That's fine. I don't care. I know a lot of people don't agree with everything she does. Okay. I mean, I don't want to talk about none of that because I don't want to say nothing else about that because I don't want T-Lo to think I'm talking about her. I'm not. So this is what I'm gonna say. The other thing about Justice, I'm gonna tell you something. She was down for whatever crap buckets time, whatever type of time crap buckets was on. Justice was on to the max. Remember when she took that flight and she wanted to show people how she traveled first class? But when she came back from the flight, she was complaining about the cost of her rent and showing herself driving Uber. You see what happened when Tanya fly? Tanya be on some first class, top notch type travel, and she still be chilling. The life is still giving exactly what is given. You see the difference between when you can and when you can't? And at your big age, how you still on some trying to prove something to most of these people are younger than you any damn way? You trying to prove something to what? When the majority of your content you turning up on people half your damn age or better that are doing things in life that are gonna set themselves up to not be like you at your big age. When they say they hold those credentials, they do. When they say they hold those career positions, they do. But when you out here pretending like you something that you not, then you can't believe that they are what they said they are. Because you being fake, so you're figuring others are being fake. It's giving crap buckets type energy. Justice. I said what I said. It's up and it's stuck. And I ain't catching no fucking flight. Weird ass bitch. I'll catch a flight. Shut your fat ass up. You couldn't even run if I ran up on you. You gonna what? Catch a first class flight, and then you gonna do what? Have to work day and night again to make up for the extra costs because you couldn't afford it? You stupid bitch. To come and try to catch some charges on a more youthful, physically fit person. And I ain't gonna even go to the next level of how I really roll, but I don't have to say that. Stupid bitch. 60 years old acting like that. All because I was on a panel or somebody you was fucking fighting with. You dummy. Mind you, I was supporting your weird ass. Even though I didn't fucking agree with a lot of the shit you was saying. I ain't support you on that. The thing with them girls, I said how I felt. And that's why I was saying I really felt like she always felt some kind of way. I just calling out anybody because I was neutral and I still am neutral. But I was just calling weird shit out when it was. And I just feel like she always felt some kind of way. But I said what I said. Why the hell is you going crazy at these girls? You might not like them. You might not like what they do or whatever. But she graduates, Day graduates college. And this bitch gonna come out and say why she didn't wait. What's it to you? It's her life. She gets to fucking choose. It's weird to graduate and you still got classes to complete. And then what did I come back? And I said, look, I don't know her situation. She may or may not finish. And if she doesn't, that's her business. She more educated than some of the rest of y'all. And I kept it really real. I did the same fucking thing. I had one more semester to go. I took my happy ass to summer school and finished my fucking credits. Hell yeah, I participated in that graduation in May and did. And you don't get to decide. One second, y'all. Hold on. But again, but both of them on the same type of time. It's just a folder. It's just an empty folder. It's just an empty folder. Pause. I'll be right back. I'm back. And I'm like, didn't this lady say she's educated? Because if she educated, don't you know that that's how when you graduate, it ain't nothing in the damn folder anyway, even if you finished all your credits? Not when you first graduate. So I was like, your shit ain't adding up. You act like you don't know. I don't listen to her anymore. And I ain't gonna say if she say something, I won't. I don't know necessarily. We can clear some motherfucking furniture with a few fucking people. Fuck y'all. Like I said yesterday, with some people, it's cool and I would like it to stay that way. But with some of the rest of y'all, fuck y'all. With a stiff infected one. And some of y'all need to bounce up and down on some shit anyway and clear your mind. That's what's wrong with you for real. You're stressed. You need to get a nice deep tissue massage and then bounce up and down on top of it. Then you will feel better. For real. Anyway, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Literally crazy. It is what it is. Yeah, so my commentary went in a whole different direction that I wasn't planning to go in. But it is what it is. Like I said, it had to be said. I'm up and coming. I am growing. And so be it. I was gonna save it, but it came out now. Whatever happens, happens. I'll just continue in the direction that I'm going. And, I was gonna wait because I'm like, well, I don't think I really want to talk about that. But anyway, I was always gonna say something. And it is what it is. And now your fat ass can get skidded too, stupid bitch. Oh, let me tell y'all something else. The music that she is making, y'all probably know that. But everything she does, it be so grandiose. The way she be saying shit, it be so grandiose. She just have a hard time keeping it real. There's literally apps out there that you can do. You won't even have to say for park that. You don't even have to say for real, um, everything. You can just tell it. It's certain things that you can tell it, and it'll literally create. There's apps for everything. Literally anything you can imagine, there's apps out there for that. So my speculation is that that music was from apps. It's her original creation. Girl, bye. Yes, I listened. I ain't gonna pretend like I didn't. It ain't no email people. It ain't none of that. I literally listened. Listen, Linda, I listened. And I was like, damn, she can't even keep it real with y'all and be like, yo, I came up with. She don't say she wrote the lyrics. It's her. She owns it. I'm like, damn, you always got to be grandiose. Something is wrong. A lot of those stories was even when I was not gonna say anything. I'm like, why fight with people unnecessarily? Crap buckets. But I would be listening and I'll be like, damn, that is so grandiose. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. The stories be giving grandiosity way too much. Way too much. But anyway, y'all, I got to get up out of here and I'm gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Thank y'all for listening in. If you down, cool. I appreciate it. If you choose to pick sides, cool. It was good while it lasted. I'm still sending love everybody's way. I'm hoping and praying that people be filled with peace for real and that they can go get the help that they need so that they can stop being out here being horrible human beings. And we got word, it seems to be confirmed, that Roz, unfortunately, is no longer with us. And condolences to her family, prayers to her family. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. And for anybody who can't find it within their heart to find sympathy or empathy for the family, I think sympathy in this situation, um, something is wrong with you. And you really do need Jesus. No matter, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It's all virtual. That makes it insignificant when we're discussing the condition of someone's life. It's really ridiculous. And I feel sad for you. And I'm not judging, but I do feel sad that whatever happened in your life is so bad that you don't understand that. Ugh. Anyway, it is what it is. I might do car chronicles. I gotta go to physical therapy later. So I might do car chronicles on my way to physical therapy. Maybe later. So I'll see y'all later. I don't know if I'm gonna leave early or what, so I probably won't set a notification. I do want to say thank you, Bama, for coming in the chat and clarifying or confirming, I guess is the word, confirming that. I appreciate that because sometimes people don't speak up. Um, you know what I'm saying? But I also know because people be knowing everything. They be knowing everything. So I'm sure they saw that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she said passing through. I'm just looking real quick. Thank you. Did if anybody want to speak up. I know sometimes people are not going to want to speak up because they are on both sides. So, sort of somewhat of a recap. Of course, I was doing something else. I hope I did though. I'm gonna listen back. I'm gonna see if I if I actually stuck on track and recapped it. We're gonna talk about the buckets, more about the buckets thing. I don't know if I'm gonna have a chance to listen to her live. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, for real, for real. I just realized I gotta get some gas before I go to physical therapy. I'm gonna have to leave a little earlier. First thing in the morning, that what I was just talking about, it's not gonna be the move. I was, and I got a cup of coffee here that I'm about to drink. I was energetic and all the things, and then I just zapped energy. It zapped my energy. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to rethink that. I'm gonna have to rethink that one right there. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. Okay, that part. And also in closing, I also want to say this: if somebody can shout you out, if somebody can go to bat for you, if somebody can call your name, reason when you respond, whether it's positive or negative reason, when you respond, this thing you can do. Now, when it's negative, sometimes you might call them something other than their name that identifies them so people know who you're talking about. But when somebody is being positive or defending you and you respond, the least thing you can do is in turn not only call their name, but properly call their name. And if you don't, you being fake. I said what I said. And with that being said, I got to wrap up. I'm going to catch y'all on the rebound. I'm out of here. Peace.